Shalom, family. I pray all is well. You all are having an amazing day or had an amazing day. God bless you all. The Most High be with you all. All praises, all praises. I'm trying to get this right on the screen here. There we go. Yes. Welcome back. And yeah, get your books. You know the routine. Get your PDFs. Get your reading glasses out. And let's pick up where we left off in the sealed portion. Excuse me. Chapter 20. And we're starting at the header. Adam continues to explain the gospel and the commandments of Jesus Christ. He explains the evil of money and worldly possessions and gives the commandments pertaining to them. He expounds on and explains the evils of the family unit. Verse 1. And the Lord continued his commandments unto us, saying, Lay not up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And the light of the body is the eye. If, therefore, thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If, therefore, the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. And when we received these commandments from the Lord, we did not understand the meaning of them, for we had no desire for any of the treasures of the earth. Yea, we did not know what we should even consider as treasures of the earth. Therefore, we could not lay up for ourselves those things that we did not understand. Nevertheless, we covenanted to obey this commandment without fully understanding it at the time it was given unto us. And this we did because of our faith in the word of the Lord. Wow. And we remember the words of Satan when he was cast out of the kingdom of the Father, in which he said that he would take the treasures of the earth, and with gold and silver he would buy up great armies of men, and that he would buy up the means of justice and laws that the children of men would be subjected to through his governments and his religions, and that he would reign with blood and horror upon the earth. And when the Lord gave unto us the holy endowment as an instrument to give our children the opportunity to know the plan of salvation that he hath provided for us, we were commanded to demonstrate the great enticement that the treasures of the earth would have upon the souls of the children of God. But even then, we did not fully understand that which was commanded of us. And it was my hope that through my daily administrations among you, and also by the preaching of those who have been given the authority to teach you in the church that the Lord hath suffered to be established among us, that these things might not come to pass among you. In other words, that we might not see the necessity of these commandments. But it was our eldest son Benelli who first introduced gold and silver among us, and deceived his other brothers and sisters, and taught them that these things were precious things of the earth. And as you have these many years developed a system of money which is based on these things which you believe are precious. These commandments have become necessary and vital to our salvation and happiness. For you have used these things to form inequalities among you, and you began to covet those things of your neighbor that you do not possess, which things are not the things of God, and have nothing to do with your eternal salvation. Yea, these things also have nothing to do with the sustaining of your lives upon this earth. Verse 10. Stop playing with me. This screen acting a little sorry. Come on. Goodness. I'm gonna make sure you can see all the words. Get your books out. Yeah, I'm talking to you, whoever ain't got their book out. Verse 10. For who among you can eat gold and silver and obtain nourishment from them? And can you form them into raiment that can shield your flesh from the ill effects of the laws of nature? Excuse me, God bless me. And who among you can find use for them in the construction of your houses in which you live? Yea, what use do these things have unto you, except to deceive you and give unto you a means whereby you might disobey the commandments of God? It's hitting my spirit to read that again, so forgive me. Verse 10. For who among you can eat gold and silver and obtain nourishment from them? And can you form them into raiment that can shield your flesh from the ill effects of the laws of nature? And who among you can find use for them in the construction of your houses in which you live? Yea, what use do these things have unto you, except to deceive you and give unto you a means whereby you might disobey the commandments of God? Behold, in the beginning I taught unto you the law of consecration, which is the law of the Lord pertaining to all of the children of God, and the means whereby all of us receive that which we are in need of, according to our individual needs. And by this law we existed in peace and harmony with each other, having food and raiment and houses to satisfy the needs of all. And there were no poor or rich among us. For how can there be poor if there are no rich? And how can one man be considered rich if he have only that which he need, like unto all those whose needs are also fulfilled? And what purpose would a man gain if he owned more than that which he needed to sustain his life? The only purpose would be so that he could consume the excess of that which he possessed on the pride of his heart. And it is this pride in his heart that allow him to consider himself rich. And when the pride of his heart have consumed him, and that he spend his days counting his balance and thinking up ways in which he can increase this abundance, then do the light which enter his eye cause his whole body to be full of darkness. Yea, the obscurity of the darkness within him overcome any light that he once possessed. And we were commanded from the beginning to work by the sweat of our brow in order to eat the food that would bring us nourishment. And the commandment did not say that we shall live by the sweat of the brow of our brother, but it said, by the sweat of our own brow. And there are those of you who are rich and have justified your laziness because you think that you can take advantage of another because of his words, or in other words, because he is not as intelligent as you. But this I say unto you, I am equally as intelligent as any of you, and I have worked by the sweat of my own brow all the days of my life. And your mother Eve have worked along with me at my side. and we are not rich, nor do we have more than that which we need. And because you have placed value upon gold and silver and other things that you have made precious among you, you have caused much misery to come to pass among you. For in the beginning there was no need of a commandment that thou shalt not steal. For everything was provided for and offered free to all without a price. And there were no prices or worth affixed to anything upon this earth. But now you have placed value upon each other, even that the worth of a man and his trade have a price. And in this, not only do you sin in the treatment of each other, but you sin against God, who have commanded us to love one another and to do unto each other what we would have others do unto us. Now, what man among you will want others to consider you of less value than that value which they consider of themselves? And who among you would want to be known for your little value? And what of those that carry the buckets of our waste and bury them outside of our cities, that we should not behold our waste and cause our cities to stink? Of what value do these have unto us? I say unto you, that I would rather live in a clean city that is unburdened by our waste, than I would in a city where those wherein wear fine linens and clothing, where moths make their own waste thereon. And we value the dressmaker and the cobbler more than we value he who carrieth our waste from among us. Yet, if we had not the dressmaker and the cobbler among us, we could make our own clothes, though not finely made as they might be, but sufficient for our needs. And if there were none to carry forth our waste from among us, then our cities would begin to stink, and we would suffer because of their absence. So I say unto you, which of these should be of more value unto us? And those of you who think that your intelligence should be rewarded at a higher value than the work of those that till our fields and harvest the foods that we eat, yea, what think you? If they became intelligent like unto yourselves, and thought themselves above the sweat that produced this food, what then would you eat? Verse 22. Behold, your intelligence come from your deceptions, and the advantage that you have taken of others because of their words. For you have convinced those who carry forth the waste, and also those who bring forth the fruits of the field, that your gold and your silver are most precious and are desirous to possess. And because of your many words and your deceptions, those who work by the sweat of their brow to support you depend on you for this gold and this silver, that they might live. And you have taken that which they produce, and have convinced them who have produced it that its worth is less than the worth that you know it to be. And then in your deception, you take that which you have purchased for little and sell it for much, so that you might get gain in this profit and add to the abundance that you already have. And you enter into covenants with each other, that you might control those who work by the sweat of their brow to support you. And you have used your gold and your silver to buy protection for your evil plans, and to hire those who make laws and ordinances. And these laws and ordinances assure that you might continue to get gain without the consequences of the law to interfere with you. And once you have established these laws among you, you use these laws to justify your actions. And before long, your whole body shall be full of darkness, according to the words of the Lord. And oh, how great is that darkness! I would that you would take away the gold and the silver from among you, so that Satan can have no more power over you. For if the things of this earth have no value to you, except that it be to sustain your lives and give you joy therein, then shall you begin to lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal. And if you had all things in common, like it was in the beginning, yea, even like unto the church that we have established for your instruction, then there would be no thieves, because there would not be anything to steal. And if the things of the earth had no value, then why would you keep unto yourself more than what you needed to sustain your lives? And you are beginning to establish borders and fences among you. And how do you think that you can do these things and comply with the commandments of God? Behold, the earth is not ours to own, for we will soon die and leave it to another and take none of it with us. Then, what is the cause in which you think you are justified in the ownership of land which do not belong unto you? And if it do not belong to you, then you are thieves who claim it as your own. And if you are thieves who have claimed it as your own, then you give the right unto others to enter in among you and take that which is not yours to have. And this will be the cause of much war and contention among you. And with these wars and this contention cometh the anger that the Lord hath commanded us not to have in our hearts. I'm sorry, family. I need to pause it to blow my nose. Okay, I just want to say that was so cool. This is my first time actually using the pause button. So, hope you guys still here. Okay. Excuse me, verse 30. And this desire to own that which is not yours have caused you to divide yourself throughout the land into families and communities. And when you have thus divided yourselves, you cause your thoughts to center on your families instead of on all people who are your brothers and your sisters. And this family unit shall be the cause of much heartache and contention among you. For you have begun to believe that your families are more important than the rest of your brothers and sisters, who are your neighbors. And because you believe this, you shall concentrate all of your efforts on acquiring the things of the world to care for your family in the flesh. And your children shall become selfish and centered in themselves because of the example of the things that you have shown unto them. And they shall begin to think that they have no other brothers and sisters except those with whom they share the same parents. And they shall begin to believe that their family unit is better than that of their neighbor, and that they should put their own family and its needs above the needs of their neighbor. Verse 33. I want to make sure you guys can see all the words. Okay, verse 33. And this belief shall cause pride to overcome them, and they shall begin to think of themselves above all others who do not belong to their own family. And because of this pride, family shall fight against family for the land that you have divided amongst yourselves for the purpose of providing for the needs of your own family. And you should believe that your needs are greater than the needs of your neighbors. And you shall withhold your substance from your neighbors and justify the withholding of your substance, because you believe that if you give unto them, you shall not have enough for your family. And because of this family unit in which you have divided yourselves, you shall begin to put even more value upon your own lives in comparison to the lives of your neighbors. And you shall strive to be rich and have more than others. And in your desire to be rich, You shall make many of your brothers and your sisters, yea, even your brothers and your sisters before God, poor. And you shall begin to teach your children to focus their lives on learning the ways of the world, that they might get gain therein, and receive the honors and praises of men for the gain that they have received. And your children shall begin to search for gold and silver, for fine linens, and all the fine things of the world. And they shall make these things their idols, for they shall fall down before them and worship them, and that their hearts and desires are continually focused upon them. And you have already begun to teach your children that these family units are sanctioned by God, and that it is the most important unit among you. And you believe that the things that you have acquired of the world are the blessings of God, and that he have given you these things because of your righteousness in your families. But I say unto you, these family units are an abomination before God. Behold, they divide the children of God against each other, and cause the Spirit of God to withdraw itself from you. And when the Spirit of God hath withdrawn itself from among you, then you are left unto yourselves. And when you are left unto yourselves, Satan began to have power over you. And when Satan hath power over your hearts, he began to convince you that that which is evil and of him is good, and that which is good and of God is evil. And in this way, he mislead you and lull you away into carnal security, carefully leading your souls away from God and down to hell. And this hell is not a place where you shall go after this life, for all of us will return to the spirit world from whence we came. But this hell is a state of being which is either on this earth or in the spirit world. And it is easy to tell whether or not a thing is from God or if it is from Satan. For the things of God shall lead you to do the will of God. And when you do the will of God, then you are happy. And if you are not happy, then you are not doing the will of God. And Satan will allow you to rejoice in your wickedness for a time, but he will not stand by you for long. And when he turn his back on you, you shall no longer remain happy in the evil thing that you are doing. And I know that you do rejoice in the concept of your family unit, and that you rejoice in your children and your spouses, and in the things of this world that you have accumulated to support them in their needs. And because you find joy therein, you believe that these things must be from God. But I say unto you that these things are not from God. And if you continue in these things, or in other words, the division of yourselves into separate family units, you shall reap the recompense of this sin. For once you have divided yourselves into families, then you shall divide yourselves into communities of families. And once you have divided yourselves into communities of families, then you shall divide yourselves into countries and nations. And you shall place borders around the lands of your nations, and cause that any that enter into the borders of your nations to be bound by the laws which you have set for this nation, which laws are based on the things that you have taught your children in the family units that you have created. Sorry, family. One more pause. Okay, sorry about that. And I am back. Verse 44. Excuse me. And in your desire to protect your families and those things in which you believe, which things you have convinced yourself are from God, you shall raise up armies and means of force that shall protect the borders of your lands. And you shall cause to be killed any whom you believe shall threaten the family units that you have set up among yourselves. And in anger shall nation rise against nation, and you shall have diverse wars and contentions among you. And these wars and these contentions shall be caused because you think in and of yourselves that you are more righteous than those of other nations. And these other nations are also created by family units, which believe differently than you do, and which also think that the beliefs of their families are more righteous than yours. And you shall follow the leaders of these nations, and they shall lead you into battle against your brothers and sisters, and you shall kill them in anger. And they, in recompense for what you have done unto them, shall kill you. And if it so be that they are a nation of people who do not have the strength to kill you, then their children and the children of their children, even for many generations, shall wait until the time that they are strong enough to rise up against you, and then they shall make war against you because of the things that you have done unto their families. And you shall begin to follow the doctrine and commandments of men, and shall cause to be established among you divers religions and priesthoods that conform to the beliefs that you have taught your children, which beliefs are contrary to the gospel and the commandments of God that I am giving unto you at this time. And these religions and these churches and the leaders that you follow shall cause you to hold fast to the family divisions that you have created for yourselves. And they shall preach gentle words unto you that will keep you lulled away in carnal security, while many of your brothers and sisters who live in other families and other nations beyond the borders of your own shall suffer because of you. But you shall not concern yourselves about those in another nation or in another family, because they are not of your family, and they do not believe the same things that you believe. And because they do not believe the same things that you believe, you shall consider them unworthy of the blessings of God, which blessings you believe are the things of this world. And you believe that these blessings of God are your gold and your silver and all the precious things that you have accumulated for your family. And then shall the words of Lucifer, which he spoke unto the Father in the beginning, come to pass, in which he said, and with the enmity that thou hast placed between me and the children of men, I will take the treasures of the earth, and with gold and silver I will buy up armies and the means of force and priesthood and religions, and I will reign with blood and horror on this earth. Now, I would that you should understand what Lucifer meant by this enmity that the Lord hath placed between him and the children of men, which are all of us. But Lucifer had a desire to gain glory for himself, and this is contrary to the first law and principle of the government of the heavens, that state that this government shall never be self-serving, and it shall never act in and of itself and of its own accord for the sake of its own existence. And the plan that Lucifer had presented to us as spirits was rejected by the majority of us, and was a plan that could not be accepted because of its violation of the eternal laws of heaven that cannot be violated. But there were many of the spirits that desired the things which Lucifer presented unto them, and these followed him and were cut off from the kingdom of God at that time. And they have been with us here upon this earth in the realm of the spirits since the beginning. And Lucifer have also been here among us. And he tempted Eve, and she gave in to his enticements and disobeyed the commandments of God. But Satan, as he is known among us in mortality, justified that which he had done unto Eve, claiming that it was necessary in order to bring about the mortality of the children of God, as it had been done in other worlds. But Satan did these things of his own accord and wanted the glory for himself. And he did these things that he might corrupt and possess the bodies that the Father hath created for us. Verse 55. Forgive the noise, family. Verse 55. And Satan have his own kingdom and receive his own glory upon this earth among those that follow him and keep his commandments, which are the same commandments and precepts of men. And his kingdom consists of all of you who disobey the commandments of God and follow his enticements. And God said unto Lucifer, I will place enmity between thee and the seed of the woman. Thou mayest have power to bruise his heel, but he shall have power to crush thy head. And now, my beloved children, I have caused these things to be taught unto you in the holy endowment that you all have the opportunity to receive. But many of you think this endowment is foolish, and you do not understand the things that are taught therein. And there are many of you who have received this endowment, but do not ask for understanding and have confused yourselves because of it. And if you would have inquired of me, I would have revealed unto you all of its meanings. For it is not a secret thing among us, and have been taught openly in the churches that I have caused to be established among you. But many of you do not attend these churches and listen to the words of the leaders who have been given the authority to teach these things unto you. And you would not heed these leaders or these churches if it were that you obey the commandments of God. Let me read that again. And you would not need these leaders or these churches if it were that you obeyed the commandments of God. And if you obey the commandments of God, you shall have the Spirit of God to be with you. And by this same Spirit you shall know the truth of all things. But I would that you should understand these things, and also that you should understand the commandments of God that you must live by, in order to have the Spirit as your constant companion all the days of your lives. And for this purpose have I gathered you together, even that I might teach these things unto you. And as it is that your feet take you through this life, and make a record, as it were, of all those things that you do during your life, yea, even that your feet carry you forth unto works of righteousness or works of evil, according to the law of free agency, which have been given unto you. Therefore, Satan hath power to bruise your heel, and that he cause you often to do evil, and bruise the works that you do during the days of your probation. And these bruises can cause you to stumble and walk unsurely in the straight and narrow path that the Father have prescribed for us and have directed us to follow. And Satan have been given power to bruise our heels all the days of our lives. Okay, I'm sorry, family. I have paused to blow my nose again, and I'm going to start back at verse 62. And these bruises can cause you to stumble and walk unsurely. You know what? We're going to start at verse 61. Verse 61. And as it is that your feet take you through this life and make a record, as it were, of all those things that you do during your life, yea, even that your feet carry you forth unto works of righteousness or works of evil, according to the law of free agency, which have been given unto you. Therefore, Satan hath power to bruise your heel, and that he cause you often to do evil, and bruise the works that you do during the days of your probation. And these bruises can cause you to stumble and walk unsurely in the straight and narrow path that the Father hath prescribed for us and have directed us to follow. And Satan have been given power to bruise our heels all the days of our lives. But in the end, yea, when we finally come to an understanding of the righteousness of the Father and the commandments that he have given unto us, then shall we have power to crush the head of Satan, or in other words, destroy his kingdom with righteousness. And the Lord hath placed enmity between Satan and us. And this enmity that he hath placed between us is the feelings that we receive when we work righteousness, and that we are happy and feel joy. And this enmity is also the feelings that we receive when we do evil, and that we are miserable, where there is an absence of joy. In other words, this enmity is our conscience. And Satan have taken these feelings or this enmity and have deceived us into thinking that evil is good and good is evil. And he have accomplished this with gold and silver and the fine things of the earth. And he have done this with the families in which he have caused you to divide, so that you shall hate one another and put yourselves above others. For when you are engaged in the pursuit of the things of the world, or mammon, as it have been called, then you make that pursuit your God, and it is from this that you receive your happiness. And you are happy when you think on the things that you own, even your houses and your clothes and your possessions, and all the things to which you have given a value that do not sustain your life, even a life that require only food and simple raiment and a simple shelter to survive. And you are happy when you see your families prospering and enjoying the things that you have provided for them. And you take no thought of others, for in the happiness of your families you find joy. And you find joy in your religions and your beliefs, and in the leaders that teach you the things that you want to hear, even preaching those things that support you in that which you believe. And you shall find happiness and joy in the pride of your nations and your countries, and the armies and the means of force that protect you within the borders thereof. And in this way have Satan used the enmity that the Lord hath placed between him and us, to deceive us and lull us away into carnal security. And he lulleth us carefully without our knowing, and leading us down into the misery of hell. And I would that you should know, my beloved children, that any institution that is set up among you that shall be a cause of your disobedience of the commandments of God shall also cause your destruction. And it is the commandment of the Lord that we should love each other according to the eternal laws of heaven. For it was according to these laws that we were created. And we are all the children of the same eternal Father. And he have used these same laws, by which he also lived, to afford us the opportunity to become like him and live forever in happiness, according to our desires of happiness. And all of the unions that we create among ourselves, as well as the covenants, contracts, bonds, obligations, oaths, vows, performances, connections, associations, or expectations that we enter into during the days of our probation, have an end when we are dead. And after we are dead, we shall be judged according to the works that we have done, even according to our obedience and conformity to the laws of heaven. And these same laws exist forever in the eternal worlds that have existed long before this mortal state in which we find ourselves. And these same laws shall exist in the eternal worlds after this mortal state, even forever. And all things that are not established by the Lord according to his word, which word is given according to these eternal laws of heaven, shall be thrown down and shaken and destroyed. and shall not remain after we are dead. And these family units in which you have divided yourselves are not according to the word of the Lord. And he hath commanded us against such things. Therefore, they are not eternal and shall not last after you are dead. And what think you shall come to pass when you are dead? Do you think that in the kingdom of the Father we shall be divided into families? Do you believe that you shall take the pride which you feel for your spouses and your children into the kingdom of God and claim your stake there? I say unto you that you shall not do any such thing. For those of your own household are also your brothers and your sisters before God. And have you not heard my words and my teachings concerning the creation and growth of the Spirit? Did I not speak clearly unto you and teach you that there exists no marriage or families in the kingdom of the Father? For there are no such beings as male spirits or female spirits. Yea, there are those spirits which were given a male body according to the flesh, and there were also those spirits that were given a female body according to the flesh. But in the kingdom of the Father there were no male spirits, neither were there female spirits, but we were all children of the Father, and had not yet determined for ourselves which gender we would take upon ourselves to bring us the happiness that each of us desired. And when we return again to the kingdom of the Father, or in other words, to the spirit world from whence we came, we will return again as spirits without gender. And after the resurrection, there will be very few among us who will be blessed with the exalted bodies that the gods possess, which bodies are male and female, and are given according to the eternal laws that govern the celestial glory and the kingdom of our Father. And these bodies are given for the purposes of creation, and also for the fullness of joy of those who deserve the power that these bodies possess. Oh, snap. I'm so sorry. I didn't even... My bad. It's a lot going on. Forgive me. Verse 81. And I say unto you, that except you abide by the commandments and laws of God, you cannot attain to this glory. For straight is the gate, and narrow the way that lead unto the exaltation and the power of the continuation of lives, and few there be that find it. And you do not find it because you know not God. But if you receive the commandments of God in the flesh, and abide by them, then shall you know him. And if you know him, you shall receive your exaltation, and you shall be in the same kingdom of glory in which God dwells. Ooh, oh, praises. That reminds me of the other verse that we read yesterday where it said, if you are keeping the commandments and walking according to his word, you are ready to meet him. So that was definitely a precept and a confirmation. For behold, this is eternal lives, even that you might know the only wise and true God, who is our Father. And broad is the way which lead to destruction, and many there be who go in thereat, and this according to the commandments and the words that the Lord hath given unto us. And because Satan hath entered in among us, there shall be many that come in among you in the clothing of sheep, but inwardly are ravening wolves. These shall call themselves prophets of God, and set themselves up as your leaders, and begin to teach unto you the flattering words that you would desire of them. And the Lord hath shown unto us the way in which we can judge these who will make such a claim. And I say unto you, that I will show you a sure way that you might know how to judge a false prophet. For you shall judge him by his works, and the flatteries of his mouth shall not uncover his unrighteousness. For Satan shall inspire him to speak unto you according to the peace that you have been taught shall be given unto you by the Holy Spirit. And Satan shall mimic this feeling and cause you to believe the words of the false prophet as if they were the words of God. And you shall judge all men according to the commandments of God that I am giving to you this day, and which shall be taught unto you in the same likeness and in the same words by all the true prophets of God. And a true prophet of God will not add to or take away from these commandments that I have given unto you, and which I shall continue to give unto you. I rebuke you, Satan. And I know that God himself shall come down among those of our posterity in the flesh. And when he is among them, he shall be known as the Son of God. And he shall be the Son of God. But because the Son shall be in the exact likeness of the Father, and shall have the power and authority of the Father, he shall be our God. And he shall also give unto you the commandments that I am giving to you this day, which are the exact commandments that your mother Eve and I received from him after we left the Garden of Eden. And these shall be the same words that he shall always speak unto the children of men, regardless in what time period they are given, whether they be given unto them today, or yesterday, or tomorrow. They are the same. For these commandments are eternal. And if they are eternal, then they are from God, and shall last beyond the days of our probation, even forever. And any of those among you who claim that they are prophets of God shall teach these things unto you. And again I say unto you, that they shall not add to or take away from, nor shall they change these commandments in any way. And if they add to, or take away, or cause any of these things to be changed, then you shall know of a surety that these are not men of God, but are false prophets. And there shall be many false prophets who shall come among you preaching what they claim to be the words and commandments of God. And many of you shall be deceived by their words. And you shall be deceived because you do not keep the commandments of God. And many of you shall think that the commandments of God are too hard to keep, and that they do not bring you the joy that you have been promised. And you shall say that it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his commandments, and have walked mournfully before the Lord all the days of our lives? And we call the proud happy, yea, they that work wickedness are set up, and they who tempt God are even delivered in their time of need. And in this way Satan shall have power over you and lull you away, and that you will begin to believe that there is no heaven, nor is there a hell, and that there is no Satan, therefore there is no God. And many of you shall say amongst yourselves, let us eat and drink and be merry, for tomorrow we die. But it shall be well with us. Verse 94. For we will fear God, and by fearing him, he will justify us in committing a little sin. Yea, we can lie a little and take advantage of our neighbor because of his words. And we can dig a pit for our neighbor so that our own family might not fall therein. And if we do all these things and tomorrow we die, it shall be well with us. And God will beat us with a few stripes, but in the end, we will be saved in his kingdom. And these things shall be taught unto you by those who are false prophets among you. Therefore, I would that you should know these things, that you may not be deceived by them. And do not think that when you stand before the judgment bar of God, that these things will not be known. For you shall know those things which you did that were contrary to the commandments of God. But even so, there will be many of you who shall say unto the Father in that day, O Father, Have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name cast out the evil that is among us, and in thy holy name done many wonderful works? Did we not take unto ourselves wives as thou hast commanded us, and brought up unto thee many children whom we have taught to honor and respect thee? And in the abundance of that which we took from the earth, did we not dedicate a portion thereof unto thee? And then will the Father say unto them, You did nothing in my holy name. For of all the things that I have required of you, you have done none. For I was hungered, and you gave me no food. And I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. And I was a stranger, and you took me not in. And was naked, and you clothed me not. I was sick, and you did not attend unto me. And I was imprisoned, and you visited me not. And then you shall answer the Father, saying, O Father, when did we see thee hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? And in all these things have we taken care of the needs of our families, as thou hast commanded us. And when they were hungered, we fed them. And when they were thirsty, we gave them to drink. And when they were naked, we clothed them with all manner of fine clothing. And when they were sick, we administered unto their needs. And if any of them were in prison, we visited them. And the strangers we were counseled by our leaders to avoid, lest they come in among us and destroy our families and our beliefs. But O Father, when saw we thee in hungered, or thirst, or stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? For had we known thee, then we would have given all unto thee, as thou hast commanded us. And then shall the Father say unto them, Yea, it is because you did not know me that you did not recognize me. Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you did it not to one of the least of those among you, you did it not to me. For behold, you think that those of your own family are they which are the greatest among you, and you have given these things unto them. But I did not command you to divide yourselves into these families in which you have placed your priorities. And those who are the least among you are those who are not of your family, but whom I have commanded you to do unto as you would have them do unto you. And would you not want that when you are hungered, or thirst, or estranged, or naked, or sick, or in prison, that others would attend to your needs, whether they are members of your family or not? Yeah, I never knew you, and you never knew me. For if you had known me, then you would have known that I am the Father of all, and that you are all my children. And I have given you a commandment to do unto all of my children, which include the very least among you. And you have judged the beggar that is one of the least among you, and have denied him your sustenance, because you have said that he hath brought upon himself his own misery. Therefore I will stay my hand, and will not give unto him of my food, nor impart unto him of my substance, that he may not suffer. For his punishments are just, because he have offended God in his laziness. Verse 107. And how can you say that this beggar, who is my child, have offended me, when you do not know me? Know you not that the world that I have caused to be created is for all of my children? And do you not know that my kingdom is for those who are the least among you? Yea, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. And blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth when I finish my work thereon. And blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. And blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. And blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. And blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And these are those who are the least among you. And they are my children and belong to my family, which is the only family that I have ever caused to be organized among you. And because you did not keep my commandments, you are not pure in heart. And because you are not pure in heart, you shall not see me, neither shall you know me. Depart from me, you that work iniquity. And Adam continued his words, saying, And now, my beloved children, see that you learn these commandments which I have given unto you, and also those which I am about to give unto you. And if you keep these commandments, you shall have a pure heart, and you shall know God, and not be cast out of his presence. All praises to the Most High. All praises, all praises, all praises. I am truly going to stop there. It is a lot going on tonight, more than I expected, so forgive me for the noise in the background. I do pray that this word touched you all, removed any stumbling blocks, brought peace, healing, comfort, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Whatever it is that the Father had for you, I pray that you received it and you were open to receiving it. And I pray that you all enjoy the rest of your evening. May the presence of the Father be on you, your homes, and just about you, wherever you are. I love you, family. God bless you. Shalom. And again, have a good night.